All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have for almost 10 years now been known as a trials guy in Destiny, but what a lot of people forget is I'm also known as the power guy when new DLCs come out. We're gonna break this video into two parts. I'm just standing at the tower and I'm just gonna talk. But this first part, we're gonna talk about the idea and the concept behind power grinding. And even if you think you understand, there's probably a pretty good chance that you're gonna want to still listen and that you won't fully understand until you hear me break it down. Part two, we'll talk more about Final Shape itself and some little tips and tricks throughout Final Shape to maximize your power grind. It is currently Wednesday afternoon. Keep in mind the servers were cooked all day Tuesday, and I'm currently at 1990 base power with 1998 artifact power when you include the +8. I have a lot more grinding to do, and I'm only on my hunter. I haven't touched my titan or my warlock, so I'm sort of demonstrating that we're doing pretty well. Let's talk about the idea behind power grind as a whole. Your power is broken into 8 pieces. It's an average of your 5 armor and your 3 weapons. And what I mean by that is, let's say that you are 1969 power. You have a 1970 weapon, armor, but your cloak is still 1969. That means that your power currently is 1969 and 7/8, because that one cloak at 69 is holding you back. Once you get that power to 1970, that cloak, your power goes from 1969 to 1970. And that's important to understand because of what we're going to get into next. A good power grinder is somebody who takes their time and is deliberate about when they pick up powerful items. I'll get into on part 2 all the different powerful engrams and items everywhere. But people who are not very efficient or great at power grinding, just engram, power, they just blast through it. What you need to do is you need to recognize when you are able to raise your power without utilizing a powerful weapon. Or a powerful item, I should say. In the example I just gave, let's say where you have 1970 stuff and your cloak's 1969, it's holding you back. If you get a cloak to just drop your base power, that means you can get an extra power before you go and you do a powerful activity. So a lot of times you'll be grinding. Let's say you're 1970 power. Powerfuls will drop as anywhere between +3 and +5. When you go to your director, and these guys are just dancing in front of me, and you see these yellow icons, that means that when you look at them and you investigate them, they'll drop as something powerful. +3, +4, +5. Pinnacles, different story. Highly recommend saving your pinnacles until you hit 1990 power. Don't do your pinnacles, do only your powerfuls. At base power drops exist in this game. Those drop at whatever your power is. So if I got a power drop right now, a base power drop, it drop at 1990, for example, which would help my cloak, which would help my power weapon. So a lot of times you'll have somebody, let's say they're 1970 power. They'll have some random thing in 1975, some random thing in 1967. Their stuff is scattered all over the place, as is most people's stuff. Here's what you really need to understand. You want to look at, and DIM, Destiny Item Manager does this for you. You can also do your own math. You want to see if you can get an item to drop at your base power that will raise your power. So if you're 1970 and your cloak is 1965, it's 5 full things behind. And when you look, you're like, oh, I'm 1970 and 6/8. Well, guess what? That 5 power you'll get on your cloak will push you from 1970 and 6/8 to 1971 and 3/8. AKA it will raise your power, meaning your next powerful drop will be 1 higher. Whenever you are able to raise your power without wasting a powerful item, you should do it. There are ways to get base power drops all throughout the system. Playing the game in general is a good idea. I played Onslaught, got so many drops that were +0, aka my base power drop, and caught gear up. Catching gear up allowed my power to rise, allowed all the powerfuls I did use to be much more beneficial for me. So always raise your power when you're able to. If you have anything from previous season passes, you should look up a Chrome extension. I use it on Firefox. It works way better on Firefox. Season Pass. It's a Destiny extension you can add on Chrome, and it will allow you to pull any item from old season passes. These items drop at your base power. Again, in this example I'm giving, you're 1970 and your cloak's fallen behind. It's 1965. You go to your old season pass or your current season pass. You pick up a cloak. Boom, it will drop at your base power. Understanding this is key to being good at power grinding. You utilize that opportunity, there's engrams in the helm, by the way, that drop your base power, to catch up gear that's behind when you're able to go up a power. Then once you've gone up the power, you work on your big powerful items. Big powerful items are great to do. +5s, for example, are better than +3s when your stuff is all super even. When you're super even, you want to do a big +5, help make a big gap in your armor so that you can catch it up better. That's the nature behind it. That's part 1. If you have any questions, come to Twitch. I'm streaming all the freaking time. If you need me to clarify, I will. Let's now get into final shape related ideas and situations and where powerful drops come from and all that nonsense. First thing is, for final shape, when you finish the legendary campaign, which I highly recommend you should do the legendary campaign because that will drop you 1960 gear, which is very beneficial. 1940s where the power grind begins, but 1960s where you can start if you do the legendary campaign. First thing is they're going to give you an exotic that's +5. You do not have to pick this up. I did not. It is really rare and really beneficial to have a guaranteed specific item be a super powerful item. What I mean by that is, for example, on Hunter, it could have been a chest piece or a boot. I just passed. I was like, no thanks. I'm going to wait until my chest piece or my boots are falling behind. I'm going to wait until a +5 over base power chest or boot. I'm going to wait until that's extremely beneficial. So I waited until my chest piece was about 2 behind all my other stuff. Then I picked it up and it helped me a ton. So first thing I recommend is just don't pick up that first exotic. Come back to it when when that item falls behind. Step 2, I guess I don't really have a great 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to talk about different things within the final shape. There's a ton of powerful drops. I have not even started pinnacles and I'm already 1990 base power. That's the pinnacle base power. I've done 1 or 2 pinnacles. The first thing I did was I went and I began the quest for the exotic sword. I didn't finish it. I just began it. Simply by beginning it, I unlocked all of these things in the Pale Heart. I mean, so much. I barely even scraped the surface of the Pale Heart, including Pathfinder. But you open up a world of things to do in the Pale Heart once you start the exotic quest for the sword. So start the quest, it opens up this whole world of things. At the Pale Heart, there were quests for a kinetic gun, an energy gun, a heavy gun, and there were 2 item quests as well, or 2 armor quests. I think it was Gauntlet and Boot were the quests. Those all dropped as +3. So similar to how I said save the exotic for when that item falls behind, you can also do that for the kinetic quest, the energy quest, the heavy quest, the boot quest, and the gauntlet quest. They drop as +3. So when you are doing your power grind and you find yourself in a spot where any of those things have fallen behind, you can go and focus on the specific quest related to that weapon. There's 3 of them. I did them all today. They're all pretty quick, and then there's 2 armor ones, so 5 in total. And they're a guaranteed way to get a specific item 3 above your base power, not 3 above its power. If you're 1970 and you've got a kinetic weapon that's a 1966, and you're going to get a +3, I'm not saying it's going to drop to 69. It's going to drop +3 over your base. It will drop to 1973. There's a lot of opportunities at the Pale Heart for stuff like that. Vendor rank ups are crazy. They're all +5. You absolutely should focus on doing a bunch of vendor rank ups. Just playing Crucible. Comp is really good because I think when you get your 7th comp game, that weapon is a very powerful drop too. Focus on ranking up at the Gunsmith. You can pick up collection things to do that. I'm not kidding you. You can pick up exotics from your collections. You can turn them in, and by turning them in, you'll get a rank up, and by ranking up, these will be there, and these drop as +5 up until Pinnacle Cap. Same with the Cryptarch. If you saved engrams, if you have a bunch of exotics, you can do that with Rahul. If you focus these engrams instead of just turn them in, apparently focusing specific engrams actually gives you way more XP. Ranking up here on your first rank up gives a bunch of very powerful engrams as well. Same with Shax, same with the Vanguard, same with Gambit, and same with Hawthorne. Bounties at Hawthorne are the same. You get big powerful engrams here too. So those are +5s. Those are huge. So remember, just doing all those things that those vendors are giving you gigantic drops. Between that, those +5s, catching up my gear with old season passes or just grinding out the game, and the quests that I'm mentioning over there at the Pale Heart, that's pretty much what I used to get from 1960 to 1990. There wasn't that much more I needed to do. Of course, there are more, and it's really easy to find them. Just open your director, go to destinations. Oh, Vanguard's got a yellow thing. What is it? Oh my god, Onslaught? I can get powerfuls from doing Onslaught. I got like 7, maybe more like 4 powerfuls from doing 50 waves of Onslaught, for example. One thing that I didn't mention that I should probably mention, for example, I got a +3 pinnacle from my 2nd Pathfinder reward. Why? I don't know. But there's another thing I should have mentioned. These Pathfinder rewards, number 1 was a powerful, number 2 was a +3 pinnacle. I was 1990, it turned into a 1993. I don't know yet what my third path will be, but it looks like it might continue to be powerful, aka pinnacles, or not aka, pinnacles. Pathfinder's really, really strong. Make sure to utilize it. Make sure to use it for powerfuls and pinnacles. That's really the power grind though. For final shape, it's really not hard. And a point to mention that's really important, this is the first time we've ever had your power go across characters. So that means when I go to my Titan, it will be 1990 base power. Its first drop is going to be based off of this gear, which is incredible. So there's not all this strategy anymore between like, hey, make sure you do this when you go to your second character. I can do all my pinnacles on my hunter. Let's say I get my hunter to 1993 base. My Titan's first pinnacle will be a +2 on 1993. It'll be 1995. So there's not really any strategy there. Don't do pinnacles until you hit 1990, then start doing pinnacles. Go to your next character, do the same. If you think you have any questions, come over to Twitch, ask me them. Let me know in the comments. This is how I do guides. I don't give you exact names for the quests and whatnot because I'm just shooting the shit at the tower. Look in the description for the link to the short where I discuss this strategy. Understand this concept of catching up gear, when it will actually raise your power, and just constantly focus on that as you continue to do engram after engram, powerful after powerful. Focus on the quests that are going to specifically help certain items that have fallen behind, and you're on your way to becoming a max power guardian. That's it. Thanks for watching. Come to Twitch. We're doing giveaways. We got emblems. There's so much going on Twitch. We will be a Twitch rival featured streamer on Friday and Saturday. So I will have an exclusive emblem you can earn from my Twitch stream during the 48 hours of the raid race. Thank you for watching. See you on Twitch. Good luck in the power grind, Guardians.